As Michael stands guard, preparing to face the chaos forged by envy and deception, so must we prepare to meet the challenges that threaten the purity of our faith and the sanctity of the covenant. The revelation of the covenant beckons us to a profound awareness of our spiritual heritage, demanding introspection and dedication as we are drawn deeper into the mystery and majesty of divine purpose. Within these sacred revelations, we glimpse a future written in the bold strokes of divine intention, an invitation to partake in something eternal. And as shadows of rebellion gather, the next steps on this journey will require courage, clarity, and commitment, elements that are born from understanding and honoring the covenant revealed to us. As the battle between light and darkness looms, Michael's unwavering defense serves as our example, inspiring us to uphold and protect the covenant that shapes our spiritual destiny. Lucifer, woven into the tapestry of celestial forces, emerges, not merely as a rebel, but as a spectral harbinger of distrust and division, his envy igniting shadows that dance ominously around Abraham's hallowed covenant. From the brooding recesses of spiritual rebellion, he casts his gaze upon a world cradled in the interlocking promises of faith, daring to challenge the divine order established by celestial decree. Here in the dim echoes of eternity, he plays the architect of insidious schemes designed to upend the very foundation of light that Abraham's covenant illuminates. In ancient paradises, this malevolent force does not wage war with noticeable clangor or overt battles. Instead, Lucifer's weaponry is far subtler, a whispered doubt here, a flicker of discontent there, spread like a venomous ink staining the pristine fabric of faith and unity. He ventures into the inner sanctums of belief, strolling along pathways of synergy built by the faithful, scattering seeds of skepticism amongst the roots of their spiritual constructs. His allure is in presenting what seems a seductive alternative, an illusion born of fear and shaken resolve that belittles the sanctity of God's word and the assurance it offers. Was not Lucifer's initial rebellion, rooted in covetous desires, a prelude to this visage of envy directed toward Abraham's covenant? Here, distortion of truth becomes Lucifer's signature. He takes forms both familiar and fearsome, transforming divine decree into fragile human uncertainties. His whispers resonate not with the clang of battle armor, but with the silent creak of trust beginning to waver, of faith beginning to falter. As Lucifer maneuvers through these shadows of rebellion, he challenges the unwavering guardianship of Michael, who stands vigilant in safeguarding the covenant. Michael, clothed with celestial light, is no stranger to the nature of Lucifer's deceit, yet he observes with sorrow as some, enticed by Lucifer's false promises of power and liberation, stray from paths of righteousness. Lucifer knows well that a partnership forged with divine grace can become vulnerable when besieged by the trickling disruption of doubt. Perhaps, dear viewer, you feel echoes of this ancient rebellion within the personal battles fought in today's world. Are you assailed by doubts that seek to undermine your faith, gently whispering that the promises of God may not stand the test of time or trial? Do you sense the shadows that ask whether your dedication to spiritual pacts might be in vain? Our modern realities, like the stories told in ancient texts, resonate with these themes of temptation and perseverance. To counter the enemy's murmurs, invite the illumination of prayer into these contested chambers. Let us anchor ourselves in scriptures that assert our spiritual inheritance and reaffirm the beauty and truth of the covenants we hold dear. From Ephesians to Psalms, passages guard our hearts with wisdom, strength, and the unwavering truths of God's eternal promises. Under Michael's watchful gaze, the celestial host girds itself for the forthcoming battle, a confrontation anticipated since the dawn of creation. Here we see the epic narrative unfold. The spiritual sentinel arrayed against unsanctioned ambition is a portrayal of how cosmic order seeks to prevail over encroaching chaos. The struggle is symbolic of the enduring pursuit of truth amid shadowy deception. Within this timeless conflict lies your own tale of spiritual resistance and resurgence. Just as Michael stands resolute, emboldened by divine mandate, you too can embrace the covenant as a living, breathing force of guidance and growth in your life. Imagine the power of standing firm in luminous faith against the seductive calls of doubt and despair. Imagine a cosmic battlefield where the fate of humanity hangs in the balance, a duel not just of fists but of faith. In one corner, the archangel Michael, radiant and unwavering, stands for divine promise. In the other, Lucifer, the fallen one, seduces with the temptations of power and doubting our greatest covenant. What drove these celestial beings into a fierce clash over Abraham's legacy? It's the age-old struggle between faithfulness to God's calling and the seductive whispers of worldly success. And the answer? It reminds us that every day we too face choices that echo this eternal conflict, challenging us to choose between divine purpose and earthly allure. In ancient times, the covenant established with Abraham was more than a simple promise. It was a living mandate intended to shape the trajectory of all believers. Recent discoveries of sacred scrolls and texts, hidden for millennia, have brought this covenant back to the forefront of spiritual discourse. This revelation has turned our perspective, unveiling the covenant not just as a relic of the past, but as a vital, guiding force in the present. Such a perspective raises the stakes of our spiritual lives, suggesting that the covenant's power and promise reach through time, influencing each believer even today. Imagine a world where the covenant stands as a steadfast pillar amidst the storms of existence. This is the world those ancient texts paint for us. They depict the covenant as a dynamic force, a spiritual linchpin that holds the potential to alter destinies and elevate souls. It is framed not merely as an agreement, but as a divine mandate that speaks directly to the heart of faith, demanding loyalty and unfolding a pathway lined with eternal significance. Its living nature challenges us to reassess our roles and responsibilities in the larger cosmic design. Within this intricate web of divine architecture, we are introduced to Michael, a figure of celestial magnitude entrusted with the protection of this sacred covenant. In this grand tapestry of spiritual narrative, Michael stands as a guardian, a fierce advocate of divine order, poised against the encroaching chaos. His mission is clear: to safeguard the covenant's sanctity and ensure its guiding principles remain untainted. Michael is not merely a watcher, he is an active participant in the grand cosmic struggle that underpins our spiritual reality. Michael embodies a divine force, lending his strength and wisdom to those devoted to the covenant. His presence is a reassurance, a celestial affirmation of the covenant's enduring significance. The ancient texts hint that Michael's guardianship offers believers a source of fortification during their spiritual journey, an assurance that the covenant is a path well defended against the darkness seeking to overshadow it. What does it mean, truly, for a celestial being to stand guard over an agreement? It is a reminder that our spiritual engagements are interwoven with celestial interests, deeply impacting both earthly and divine realms. As believers, recognizing Michael's role compels us to examine our own stance within the covenant. Are we, like Michael, committed to defending its purity, embracing its promises and resisting the pull of doubt sown by external forces? The covenant stands as a challenge, a call to arms for our souls to rise in defense of divine promises amidst the spiritual warfare that may be unseen but is profoundly real. The groundwork for a cosmic struggle is laid, one that is both universal and intensely personal. As the covenant is a divine promise to Abraham's descendants, so too is it a personal promise to each of us who choose to stand as heirs of its blessings. In this cosmic drama, believers are not mere spectators. They are active participants. The unveiling of the covenant as a living mandate challenges us to re-examine its place in our lives and understand that we are part of a grand divine strategy. With the covenant exposed as a living force, the stage is set for a primordial battle of epic proportions. The introduced characters, ancient and celestial, are but players in this drama where the stakes are the very souls of humanity. Our choices, grounded in faith and reflection, determine where we stand in this unfolding narrative. Can we, as contemporary followers of this ancient mandate, rise above the shadows of doubt and align with the light? How do we individually and collectively uphold the spirit and tenets of Abraham's covenant in our lives today? The call is not only to understand, but also to act, to embrace the covenant's demands as a living, breathing testament to our faith and to recognize the battle lines drawn in this spiritual arena. In unity with heavenly defenders, fortify your heart with the same assurances once etched in ancient stones, promises that echo through eternity. The shadows of rebellion are but preludes to a redemptive light destined to claim final victory. As Michael's haven prepares for the onset of the celestial confrontation, let us together anticipate the crescendo of light breaking over ancient darkness, reaffirming that what is true, pure, and divine prevails over shadows forever. Amidst the vast expanse of the heavens, a celestial battleground unfolded, one where the luminance of the divine met the imposing shadows of rebellion. Here, at the sacred crossroads of light and dark, the mighty Archangel Michael stood firm, his celestial armor shimmering with the power imbued by the covenant. As if woven from the essence of the Creator's own light, Michael epitomized justice, strength, and unwavering fidelity to the divine promises made to humanity. It was this covenant, forged in sanctity with Abraham, that gave Michael his formidable strength, serving as his shield and weapon against the encroaching darkness. In stark contrast, Lucifer emerged cloaked in a malevolent majesty of his own design, his bitter envy and desire for power emanating from him like an oppressive mist. This fallen angel, once a beacon of light now corrupted, wielded envy and deceit as his tools. His aims were simple yet profound: upend the divine order, manipulate the fabric of faith, and unravel the sanctity of the covenant that bound heaven and earth in harmonious unity. To Lucifer, the covenant was not just a pact, but a living testament to a promise he could never partake in, a divine intimacy forever beyond his reach, fostering resentment that fueled his rebellion. As the forces of light and darkness converged, the atmosphere vibrated with anticipation, a palpable tension underscored by the collective breath of creation itself. These two celestial beings were not mere symbols, but embodiments of two opposing forces: faith and doubt, allegiance and dissension, creation and annihilation. Their clash was more than just a battle. It was the personification of all spiritual struggles, echoing across realms and through the hearts of believers who stood as witnesses to this titanic struggle. The skies above became a tapestry of cataclysmic beauty as thunderous lights clashed with shadows that twisted and turned, casting chaotic patterns across the fabric of reality. Here in this sacred and surreal theater, every strike, every parry and counterstrike of energies spoke of ages-long tensions, a legacy of love and betrayal, of divine promises held against the chains of defiance. The resplendent glow of Michael's sword clashed with the dark tendrils summoned by Lucifer, a stark juxtaposition underscoring the eternal struggle between good and evil, transcending the physical and entering the very soul of existence itself. Michael, empowered by his unflinching faith in the covenant, was swathed in divine light, each stroke of his sword an affirmation of divine justice, unyielding and pure. He spoke, and his words were anchors, reminders of the promises that light the path for those in need, mirroring God's eternal faithfulness to humanity. For the promise, his voice resounded, as if woven with the breath of hope, is unto you, and to your children, and to all that are afar off. These words, drawn from the sacred scripture, were not just a rallying cry, but a solemn reminder of the covenant's reach and power. Lucifer, ever the deceiver, countered with words of insidious persuasion, aimed to erode faith, seeking to eclipse the brilliance of divine assurance with shadows of doubt. His lies slithered into the hearts of those faltering in their conviction. His promises are intricate web, designed to ensnare the unwary, appealing to earthly desires and transient glory. "Is this promise truly for you?" he would hiss, seeking to unravel the steadfast devotion of believers, to turn their eyes away from the divine and towards the shadows of self-doubt and worldly temptations. In this celestial confrontation, the stakes were beyond comprehension, bound not just to the spectral battlefield, but intricately intertwined with the lives of believers across realms. It was a battle not merely for victory or defeat, but for the very soul of divine commitment to humankind, a demonstration of the cosmic scale on which spiritual warfare operates. Every clash of light and darkness rippled through time and echoed in the silent prayers of the faithful, who reached for the eternal, who sought assurance in times of despair and guidance amid the turmoil. While the battle raged in its fervent intensity, the profound lesson stood clear. Human faith, though tested and tried, could harness immeasurable power. The covenant, much like Michael imbuing his strength, was not just a word or promise. It lived, breathed, and worked wonders in the world, acting as a bulwark against the myriad challenges faced by believers in their daily lives. Here, in the heights of celestial conflict, we discover the truth that ripples into our earthly existence. The covenant's strength lies not in its invulnerability, but in its resilience and in the steadfast faith of those who uphold it. As Michael battled not just Lucifer, but the pervasive doubts and fears he sowed, it became evident that the celestial confrontation was mirrored within every believer's heart, a reminder that faith traverses beyond the clouds and into the solemn promises kept within one's soul. The confrontation's drama underscored that to stand firm as Michael does in the covenant is to wield a power greater than stars, a faith unshaken by the loudest whispers of doubt. In this grandiose dance of creation's guardians, the resolution was not merely written in the ancient script of the cosmos, but in the ever-unfolding story of divine hope. Though tested, tried, and challenged, the covenant would endure, a beacon for humanity, a promise of eternal fidelity from the divine, to all whose hearts remain steadfast in the faith delivered by Abraham's covenant. It serves as a luminous guide through darkness, a testament of indomitable hope, and a call for believers to emerge from their shadows and embrace the light of divine reality. In the aftermath of Michael's celestial triumph over Lucifer, the renewal of the divine promise stands not merely as a restoration, but as a luminous reaffirmation of faith's incalculable power. The victory in the ethereal realm manifests a profound shift, reverberating through the hearts of steadfast believers who stand as guardians of the covenant, which is no longer a mere historical artifact, but a living testament of hope and divine assurance. Amidst the celestial silence that follows the thundering duel, a divine pulse begins to course through the cosmos, resonating within the covenant itself. It is a renewal, not just in a textual sense, but a dynamic reshaping of essence and expectation. This reinstatement highlights the eternal nature of divine promises and their unwavering relevance. It echoes the words of the ancient prophets like Isaiah, who proclaimed that the word of God endures forever. Through Michael's victory, this promise is revitalized, as vibrant and unyielding as the first moment it was bestowed upon Abraham. As the spiritual dust settles, one can almost sense the tangible restoration of faith, like a gentle breeze nudging the flame of a once flickering candle back to life. It is in this restoration that hope takes root anew, guiding the souls of believers in their journey amidst an ever-present battle between light and darkness. The covenant serves as a compass during tumultuous times, its inscriptions etched deep in the fabric of the universe, transcending time and space to offer solace and direction. In this sacred renewal, God's unwavering fidelity to his promises is once again ratified, a beacon of unwavering hope in a fractured world. It is a testament not just to individual resolve, but to divine benevolence, creating a symphony of grace that resounds in the hearts of all who dare to believe. This divine orchestration invites believers to draw close, to find shelter beneath its remembrance, and to stand as witnesses to its eternal potency. The imagery of light-piercing darkness illustrates the very essence of this restoration. Just as Michael's sword of radiant truth shattered the shadows of Lucifer's deceit, the divine covenant obliterates the despair that seeks to consume our spirit. This battle between celestial beings reflects our daily conflicts, calling us to harness our faith, much like Michael did, to confront and dispel the shadows that dare encroach upon our lives. Renewed, the covenant becomes a wellspring of inspiration, encouraging believers to live with courage, conviction, and compassion. It calls each soul to rise above the ephemeral trials of the present, reminding them of the eternal promises that bind heaven to earth. The narrative weaves a promise of resilience, a divine rope to which we cling in times of wavering doubt and unforeseen challenges. Moreover, The victory of Michael invites us to envisage our role within this cosmic tapestry. Like Abraham, our belief in the covenant acts as a seed. Where it shelters and grows, faith is fortified, and like an endless echo, it reverberates through generations yet to come. It teaches us that the promises of God are not relics of the past, but alive and ever-present, unfolding within us and through us as we journey through life. In this renewed understanding, the covenant is not just a static vow between God and his people, but a call to engagement. It manifests as an active alliance, a divine dance, where faith is both the soil and the seed, the beginning and the end. As believers, it is our duty to nurture it, to till the spiritual soil and yield a harvest of hope that feeds not only the individual soul, but also the collective spirit of humanity. Thus, as we stand at the nexus of celestial assurance and earthly experience, our gaze oriented towards divine horizons, we are reminded that the covenant is a lighthouse steering us through the encroaching darkness. It illuminates the path before us, guiding those who willingly follow its eternal luminescence. Like a harbor light guiding ships to safety, so too does the covenant guide us, ensuring that we are aligned with divine purpose, navigating the winds of faith with unwavering trust. These moments of restoration teach us that in the grand schema of existence, it is not merely the triumph or defeat that shapes our understanding, but the divine promise that assures us of God's unwavering presence. As a unified body of believers, echoing the legacy of faith carried forward by heroes of old, we can face the world, renewed, fortified by the covenant, a living, breathing embodiment of divine promise and human hope. Ultimately, the renewal of the divine promise through Michael's victory over Lucifer is not just a celestial event, but an invitation to all believers to reaffirm their own faith. It is a gentle reminder that the battle between light and darkness is ongoing within us and around us, but with faith, we can reclaim our divine heritage and live in the covenant's light. Through it, we find not only our story, but our purpose, our strength and our never-ending source of hope, eternal in the heavens and written upon the tablets of our hearts.